Hello, beautiful people. Adrienne here, aka Ace. Hey, I have James with me today, and he needs a little trim. We've talked to Mom, and we just want a little bit off his ear. So I have some tips and tricks that I'd like to share with you guys for when it's these little guys' first haircuts, and if they have hesitations. James getting impatient with us. So we have found in our trials already that he's not too keen on the cape, and that's no big deal. We don't have to wear a cape. Sometimes if they're hesitant, you can have them sit with the parent or even have the parent go first, and that works really well too. We never want to force a child. This is a great opportunity for us to build trust with him so that his haircuts from here on out will be smooth and easy. So I'm just gonna dampen his hair a little bit. And this is a great reason why I love spray bottles that only spray in a mist, because we're not gonna soak him down. He kind of likes the mist. It feels good. He's like, what are you doing to me? Do you want to hold a comb, James? You're such a good helper. Do you want to hold this? You can have a comb. That's always okay to do. They love that. Huh, they love that. So I've had a lot of hesitant kids in my day, and some that were kicking and screaming. And I will say, if you try every trick in the book and they still won't do it, don't force them. It's just not worth it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Their hair gets a little bit longer. You'd rather keep that trust with the child and not have such a fight later. I recommend never holding a child down. So I'm going to use a razor like I like to do. That way, I'm not going to poke him with the scissors if he turns suddenly. I'm not going to hurt him in any way. He can wiggle. You know, I'm not going to say things like, oh, if you move, I'll cut you. No, we don't want to say that. We want to say, we're going to trim your hair. We don't want to say, we're going to cut your hair. We want them to feel comfortable. Okay, here we go. Let's just trim the back a little bit, and we're just going to let him do what he wants. He's curious, and that's okay. James, can I trim your hair? He's like, wait, I want to see what you're doing. Look what I have. Look, I have a comb like you. Do you want to play with this? Do you want to play with my spray bottle? You can play with that. Yeah, hang on to it. So I'm just gonna trim this a tiny little bit. And it's another great reason why cutting with the razor is great, because it's gonna be a soft blended edge, so that if he's wiggly, it doesn't all have to be like so perfectly even, and that way it won't look choppy. He's been sitting here a while waiting for me to get set up, so he's a little bit impatient, but that's okay. And so here we're gonna trim this a little around his ear. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm gonna leave a little room to shrink so that it won't be too short. Oh, you love that game. Throw it on the floor, pick it back up. Those are always fun games. What else can I give you? Oh, look, I have some guards you can play with. Look at these, James. James, look. Ooh, what are those? You can play with my guards. I'm gonna trim this around his ear. And I love that there's no worry of cutting his little ear. So he's never gonna be afraid of a haircut. This is his first haircut. Isn't he just so sweet? We're so excited for James. You're doing so good. I love to praise them as you're going. You know, tell them they're doing a good job. And if they're crying, they're upset, give them a sucker, give them a sticker, give them a toy, give them reassurance. And it's fine that they're wiggly. It's no big deal. They don't have to hold still. They're curious. Boop. You're doing awesome. And that's another great reason to keep the hair really wet if you're not using clippers. If you're using clippers, you need it dry. But that way, when it falls on him, it's not going to be so itchy, because the hair clumps together and it just kind of can fall right off and not be so itchy. Let's turn you this way so the camera can see you. You're so cute. Oh my gosh. I love your little smile. That's okay. You're doing good. He's like, I really don't want that in my eyes. And it's going to shrink, so we don't want it too short. Unless Mom says she wants it short. And it's always okay for Mom to say, hey, take more off. But it'll shrink about 1/2 inch probably. So then I'm doing like a potato peel feeding the hair in. You're doing so good. We're gonna be done soon. You're doing awesome. And Mom already saved some of the hair because she gave him a tiny little trim. But a lot of parents like that offer to keep a little swatch and like put some tape on it, put it in a little baggie for him or whatever. There's even these great little certificates that you could buy to give the parents for their first haircut. Those are always fun. Oh, you're doing so good. You've been very patient because you sat here while I set this all up. We're gonna be done soon. Hey, can I spray you again? Where's my spray bottle? Here it is. Look, this piece came off, but it goes right back on. No big deal. Can I spray you? Ready? Woo! That's the best part, isn't it? I try to keep it wet so that it has even distribution. Oh, that's the best part. Woo! He's like, okay, that's a bit much. Cool it, lady. Almost done. Almost done. How awesome. For your first. And you know what's funny? In 20 years, I have never had a little girl cry to get their cut. It's always boys. Usually if they're going to throw a fit and cry, it's boys. And I found that 95% of the time, it's just because they don't want to sit still. It's nothing more than that. Or they might be afraid of the clippers. And so I have a few little tricks about that. So we're not doing clippers on James, but one of the best things that you can do is make sure that your clippers and your trimmers don't nip the skin. And if they do, you need to align your blades and oil them because they shouldn't do that. And show them on your skin. Turn the blade on and show them on your skin that it does not cut. And then ask them if they want to touch it. And usually boys will want to touch it, especially after they've seen that it won't hurt. So then they'll touch it, and usually they'll just sit right through it and they'll let you do their hair. That is such a big key. And never tell them, hold still or it's going to cut you, because why would they want to let you continue if they feel like they might get cut? So we don't say that to them. I think I only have one little piece here to do. But actually, no, that does look pretty good. One little piece right there. You're doing good. He's like, yeah, I've had enough. We probably will use some trimmers on you, though. Here's a tiny little long piece. You know, what's the worst that could happen if he's wiggling around? You miss a few hairs? Oh gosh. That's why you cut with a razor. You'll hardly be able to tell. Do you want to see my trimmers? Look at this. See, I'm going to show him. These blades, I've never cut anybody. I make sure my blades are really aligned. They shouldn't nick people. Look at this. Do you want to feel it? Do you want to feel this with your finger? Put your finger on it. You can feel that. That's cool. It feels like a little buzzy bee. Yeah. That's kind of funny, huh? You silly. Okay, can I trim your hair right here? Look, listen, it sounds like a buzzy bee in your ear. I don't know. Can I try it? Yeah, you can check it out. That's funny, huh? I know, that's kind of buzzy. Watch, let me look right here. Here, listen. Listen close. Listen close. Ooh, what does that sound like? What does that sound like? Watch, listen in this ear. Listen in this ear. Let's listen. Oh, you did good. You did so good. Feel it again. See, and then this just helps them so much. Then they're not afraid. They're not worried about what's going to happen. They have enough things going on, like the dentist and the doctor. We don't need to traumatize them getting their hair cut. We want this to be a fun experience. Touch it. Okay, let me do right here. Can I trim your neck? He might not let me trim his neck. That's okay. I mean, gee, what's the worst that could happen? He doesn't have a lined neck. Oh gosh. It's his first haircut. It's okay if he doesn't have a lined neck. We're not going to put him through it. It's okay. It actually looks good anyway because it's soft. Want to feel it? You're done. Okay. No problem. You're done. Some kids are afraid of the blow dryer. I'll skip that and just kind of wipe them off with a towel. You did so good, James. You're a great little hair model for your first haircut. Look at you. Look at the camera. Look how handsome you are. Look how handsome you are. Look over here. Woo. Aw. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in for some more videos that I have, and we'll talk a little bit more about consultation and a couple other little tricks that I like to use with kids. Thanks, guys. See you next time.